All right, the game fans. Now, I'm going to do a separate video on one of the particular characters, one of the new ones, but we'll know him as, Barry from the Oval. But when I was doing some quick research on how to pronounce the actor's name, Von Braun, I actually came across some disappointing news. Now, I was looking at the comments on one of my older videos on the game, when it was announced that Kelly Pitts and Derwin Ding Dong or Dingling Davis will be returning to the show, because when the announcement for the reboot was initially, put out there, it was quickly followed up by the fact that Malik Wright and Tasha Mack will be back in the show. Some people were straight up saying nobody wants to see Kelly, Derwin. I want to see Melanie. Unfortunately, on August 20th, girl Melanie herself, Tia, actually did a 15-second TikTok video that she will not be returning for the reboot of the game. And on top of that, she also shut down speculations about a sister reboot. The video so far has gotten over 1 million likes, 11,000 comments expressing disappointment, but you'll still get to see more of her in other projects. But I think it was TikTok saying, questions I get asked often. I'm not gonna lie. Look, my birthday is in a couple of days. I turn 30. I have still not gotten a TikTok. Part of me wants to do it, but not to act a fool or anything. But yeah, I feel like that's how you keep up with what's in the know, what's in the now, whatever. So maybe in the near future, but it's kind of sad. I mean, I understand it though. There are other projects she's working on, but I guess in hindsight, it is what it is. I think the sister reboot is probably what has a lot of people disappointed, because I remember when Jack A was on a talk show and she pretty much confirmed it was happening. But it's not uncommon, to be completely honest. Nowadays, people expect reboots, and they'll ask a veteran actor of said sitcom or television show, and they might kind of cheater around the question, or maybe they had a couple meetings but nothing's been made official. Then it's made official. But more often than not, the reboots rarely see the light of day. I don't remember when it used to be maybe 1 or 2 reboots that actually made it to the cutting board and made it on Netflix or actually television. And if they do somewhat well, that allows the conversation to happen of, well, this 90s sitcom came back and did pretty well. What about a Family Matters reboot? What about Sister? And then when it comes time to go into like the writer's room, or who whatever, to talk about, okay, what producer should we work with, what writer, what network, those things clash. Because sometimes, and I'm not trying to get too political or politically correct, a lot of times, you might have the cast wanting to be more progressive with the writing, like, hey, why don't we add this and this, as opposed to the writers and directors and the people who, fund the project say, let's not go in that direction. Maybe we should just keep it simple, stick to what we actually know the show's going to do in terms of ratings, where people want to come back for this, not to see this. Or it could be vice versa. Maybe it's the actors like, I'm only going to come back if the script is right. But then you have different agendas, different audiences people want to appeal to, which throws off the flow of the project. I think that was the main reason why Hilary Duff said the Lizzie McGuire reboot on Disney Plus didn't work out, because there were, I guess you could say, more adult subjects that she wanted her character to go through, because she's an adult, which makes sense, because even though it's Disney Plus, let's be honest here, the Lizzie McGuire reboot will be more for adults, the young guys and girls who watch Lizzie McGuire growing up, and then they want to watch to see what happens when she's an adult. But that's what happens. But then again, I don't know the real reason why she's not doing it. Again, probably just because of the fact that she has a lot of other projects to work on, and sometimes actors don't want to go back to previous roles. I mean, who's to say that the game Reboot, which is, I believe, 10 episodes confirmed for this first season of the Reboot, maybe she'll be brought back in a follow-up season. It's kind of like the iCarly reboot where Jeanette McCurdy didn't want to do it anymore because she retired from acting, but her character is still mentioned in universe. So I'm pretty sure Melanie will be mentioned or brought up in the series, but she just won't be there physically. You know, there might be like a phone call or something like that. Like Derwin's like, hey, I gotta call, you know, Melanie or whatever like that. But we'll see what happens. But overall, I'm interested to see what the Reboot has to bring to the table. How do you feel about Sister Sister not getting a reboot? I honestly don't really feel that, you know, I honestly didn't care. I mean, the original is still a classic in my book, but not every show needs a reboot, because if you can, it's easy to do it to make a quick buck, because no doubt maybe the first 1 or 2 episodes will get trending and you'll get a lot of views, but if the content isn't good, then there's really no need of bringing it back. But let me know your thoughts about Sister Sister Reboot not happening, Melanie not being involved in the game Reboot, and are there any other like pop culture topics you want me to talk about on the channel? If so, feel free to comment below. And with that being said, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.